Hey guys, it's Lizzie. Thank you, Raul and Amy, for the donations. You guys are so sweet. So I want to talk about the video script that I finished that I'm going to film tonight, upload probably on Tuesday, talking about how Catholicism is under attack. You guys have probably heard that several churches around the world, Catholic churches, have been burned down recently. It happened in France, it happened in Florida, it happened in California. The one in Florida was done by someone who was schizophrenic, who was off meds. So that one I feel like is less someone intentionally attacking Catholicism, but I think that the actions of other people destroying statues and everything, I think it really does affect people who are off meds and will cause more people to do actions that are violent. So I think it started with Black Lives Matter taking down Confederate statues, and now it's kind of, you should go blonde again. I am going to go blonde in like a month for sure, like less than a month. I'm doing liquid biotin and I'm growing out my hair a little longer, and then I'm going to cut the ends and then go back to blonde. So yeah, it's going to happen really, really soon. So yeah, my next video, it started with Black Lives Matter, where they were taking down Confederate statues, and then it's kind of gone too far. And now it's Catholic statues. And especially in the last week, almost every single day, there were statues taken down. There was one day where like 2 statues and 2 Catholic churches were burned all on the same day. So there's definitely a trend going on. And in my video, I'm really careful to not like blame Black Lives Matter for everything that's happened, because I think that we really need to make a distinction between like the effects of a few people part of a movement and then everyone else who doesn't condone taking down Catholic statues. So in my video, I'm making sure to make that distinction, which I think is really, really important. But okay, I'm going to read some of your comments. They're in Spanish. Hi from Italy. Yeah, that's why I'm live streaming earlier, so people from Europe can actually join and be part of the live stream for sure. Because I know people always complain when I film videos at like 11 p.m., which is like 1 or 2 a.m. on the East Coast, 2 a.m. on the East Coast, and people are like, what are you doing? So I don't like that at all. But I actually want to tell you guys, so I have a new way of making my YouTube videos. Usually I just write out the script. And then always Catholic night. Thank you for the donation. Bless smiles, Lizzie, you go girl. Oh, that's so sweet. So usually when I'm making YouTube videos, I'm, let me move the, there we go. Usually when I make YouTube videos, I write the video script and then I just practice I don't practice the video script at all. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't practice the video script at all. But now I've been recording myself on the voice memo app on the iPhone, saying my video script, and then I'll be going around like doing dishes, mopping the floor, taking walks outside, and I'll listen to the recording of my video script like several times. And then when I film, it's so much quicker because it's memorized in my head of how to do the video script. So Lizzie, your hair looks fine. Oh, I love your natural hair. You'll look great either way. I know I've had my natural hair for almost a year and I really enjoyed being brunette, but I've been blonde like my entire life. So I kind of want to go back. So like my roots. So yeah. Hi, John Hard. How are you doing? I remember you. Would $350 a week be decent amount to make if you work part-time? So that's like $1,000 a month. I mean, it depends on where you're living and how high your rent is and everything, and like what other jobs you have. So it definitely depends on that. Like my first 2 years living in LA, my rent was $600 a month because I shared a room with one of my friends. And that was like amazing rent. But usually rent is like $900 or like $1,000, even $1,200, depending on like if you live in a big city. Because like I have friends who live in Boston, LA, and the rent is like about the same between both cities. So it totally depends. What's for dinner, Lizzie? So I made a vegan pasta salad yesterday, and it's so good. It's like a cold meal. I've been trying to work on doing cold meals lately. So it's like the noodles that like turn like that, and then artichokes, cherry tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, roasted red pepper, and what else is in them? I think that's it. But it was so good, and I did a homemade dressing with like vinegar, vinegar, maple syrup, water, olive oil, and then a ton of spices. And it's like you made your own like vinaigrette dressing, which is so cool. I've been making my own dressings lately. Hi, Lizzie. I used to watch your videos all the time. How are you? Why don't you watch them anymore? I've been doing really, really really good. I've been making like a ton of Catholic videos. Like I've made over 100 videos proving that the Catholic Church is the original church. So it's been pretty intense for sure. I like literally am running out of video requests. So like if you guys have good video requests, please shout them my way, because I literally am like, what else do I talk about after I've made 100 videos proving Catholicism? Like obviously there's like depths of Catholicism with different saints and everything. But Lizzie, do you see the donation? Yeah, I saw your donation. I thank you for it. The #1 fan donation, or did you comment something else? I don't see anything else. Hi, love your vids. Love from Croatia. Love your vids. My rent is $1,000 a month. See, that's normal. I feel like most people who live in a city, it's like around $1,000 a month. Lizzie, you should really check why the Ethiopian Orthodox don't accept Catholicism and try to find the Ethiopian saints writing about Catholicism. This is something really you should check out, trust me. So the Ethiopian Church is one of the Oriental Orthodox churches. You guys want me to do Marian apparitions? Okay, that's actually a good idea, because yeah, that would be a cool series, because I have a Mary series where I've talked about all the dogmas, and I have to make a video talking about the Theotokos and why we call Mary, because Theotokos means Mother of God. So I have to make that video, but I've made the other Marian dogma videos. I've done the Assumption of Mary, the Perpetual Virginity of Mary, the Immaculate Conception of Mary, and then I have to do Theotokos of Mary, but I could add to the playlist the Marian apparitions, which would be really cool. So can you make a video about John Calvin? So I can make videos about the Protestant Reformation historically. That would be interesting for sure. If the US was forbidding Christianity, what would you do? Well, I would still go to underground mass for sure, but I think it would be so crazy because the US is becoming like less and less like pro-religion, but I never think it will get to a point where it will be like illegal to practice Catholicism. Like anytime soon in my lifetime, I don't see that happening at all. And honestly, like in the early church, when they were getting persecuted, it really, really strengthened the church, because like everyone part of it like knew they would die and stuff, so cared about it so much, and they weren't messing around with their faith. So I think that's a really good one. Can you find salmon, fish, or chicken at the dollar store? I don't know, because I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat, and fish is meat. Can you make a video about indulgences? That's a really good, let me screenshot this. I like that video idea. Where is it going? I just lost it. Oh, video about indulgences. Could you add the Dormition of Mary? That's a good idea. Although I did talk about that in my Assumption of Mary video for sure. I talked about how with the Assumption of Mary, you can either believe that she had a painless death or that she didn't die at all. So I personally think that she didn't die at all. I think that just makes sense since she undid the curses of the garden. And so she obviously overcame all of them, and one of them was death. So it makes sense to me that Mary never died, but was just taken up into heaven. What do you think about California not being able to go to church? I live in Oceanside and our parish had to be outside now. So I actually support not having churches open, just because I think if it saves one life, then it's worth it when it comes to the pandemic going on. So I think like if we're going to be pro-life womb to tomb, we have to be pro having cities shut down. And I think like around the country, cities are starting to open up. So I think California has it the worst. Maybe not the worst. Florida's really bad and Texas is really bad, but it has it really bad. And so I think eventually it's going to open up once everything's safe. So, I mean, for me, it was really hard at first, like the first 2 months, not receiving the Eucharist. But then I was talking to one of my friends who's like allergic to the Eucharist, like literally can't have any amount of gluten or wine. And he never receives the Eucharist anymore because of allergies. And I was like, if he can do it, I can do it and still be really close to God. So that really helped me out. And then also I was reading Saint Teresa's book, Saint Teresa de Lisieux's book, her autobiography, Story of a Soul. Is it called Story of a Soul? Yeah, Story of a Soul. I have it right over there. And they barely got to receive the Eucharist when she was in Catholicism. So in like the 18th century, I think, in France. And so it was like a luxury when she received the Eucharist. It wasn't like every single week given. And so that really helped me as well. Do a video on the Fatima children of Pope John Paul II. It's such like a lot to say, like Saint Pope John Paul II. I would love for you to do an in-depth look at the lives of the saints. Okay, I'm going to screenshot this. So do individual saints for sure. Thoughts on Mother Teresa? Her hospice seemed like a living hell from what I've seen. Interesting. Looks like I'm being ignored. No, there's just a lot of comments to see, and then I have to talk, so obviously I missed a lot of comments. It was so funny. At the end of last live stream, someone was like, Lizzie only reads comments she wants to respond to. And it's like, duh. Obviously, I'm only going to read the comments that I want to respond to. It's not like I'm like intentionally not reading comments. It's like I have a limited amount of comments I'm able to read and respond to in a live stream. So obviously I'm going to pick the ones that I want to talk about. So what is your favorite TV show, Lizzie? So my favorite TV show is Pretty Little Liars. I watched it growing up, starting when I was 16. I also watched a couple seasons of Glee, but other than that, like, I don't watch TV at all. Except, okay, in my old apartment, I used to watch Criminal Minds with my roommates. And then Trevor and I like to watch this show called Forensic Files, which is similar to Criminal Minds. So those are like the only shows I've ever watched in my entire life. Please do a series of church-approved apparitions of Mary. Pretty Little Lizzies. Yes. Someone else just said Marian apparition, so I think that's a really good idea. Video idea, misconceptions Orthodox Christians have about Catholicism. I literally have a video script started on this. Okay, I'm going to screenshot this for sure. That's such a good idea. So, it's going to be called 13 Lies Orthodox Believe About Catholicism. Because literally so much of our theology like super agrees with each other, but they think that we disagree on so many things, like purgatory, for example. They think that there's a final purification process, but they're like, we don't believe in purgatory. And it's like, yeah, we believe in a final purification. We literally believe in the same thing. We've just explained it in more depth. So that's like all the differences of Catholicism and Orthodox are just we've explained things in more depth and been more intellectual and analytical about it, which I get it. They want to be more into mysteries. I totally get that, but I feel like those are the only difference. So, Lizzie, I'm watching from here and YouTube. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. Hi, Travis. Hi, The Little Way to Holiness. Hi, Vidul. Hi, Java Ak. I have been putting tabs in my Little Rock Bible for so long. That's so good. I actually want to start doing tabs. Because what I do is I annotate and highlight and write all over and write like sad faces and hearts, like all over the books I'm reading, including my Bible. And I want to start using like sticky notes because I had sticky notes that came with my planner I had, but they wouldn't stick on. Like they like were horrible, the sticky notes. So I want to find good ones. Where do you buy them? No, it's not under attack. Well, ask my, watch my next video on Tuesday. You'll be convinced of the opposite. With Trevor, did you make the first move? Ask him out first. Yes, absolutely. It was all me. So we had a class my last semester at Pepperdine, and then the next month we were taking summer school courses, both of us. And so I was very intense. I was like, can I come hang out with you? Do you want to study together? Can I use your kitchen to bake a cake for my best friend? Like I was like coming up with so many excuses. Like, can you help me study for our final in our class? Like so many reasons, like fake reasons to hang out with him so that I could hang out with him. So that's like the only reason that we got close at our undergrad. And then we like didn't talk to each other. Oh, so he kind of made a move. We didn't talk to each other for like 2 years. And then he had a dream about me and texted me out of nowhere. So that's kind of how we started. It's an interesting thing. Am I late? Alexander said, no, we've only been going for 13 minutes. So we really haven't been going for that long. Do you want to talk about the Little Sisters of the Poor, or have you done it before? Yes, I'm talking about Little Sisters of the Poor in my video that's going to be uploaded on Tuesday. I'm filming the video tonight, and I was just explaining how literally it took them a decade to finally have it turned over by the Supreme Court. And it's just so awful because, like, my perspective, so I voted for Obama in 2012, and yeah, it was 2012. And with the Affordable Care Act, it helped me so much because before the Affordable Care Act, I would not be able to have insurance right now because I work for myself. So I would have to buy private insurance, and you weren't able to be on your parents' insurance until 26. You had to leave at 18 before. So someone just sent me an email, Catholic Bible tabs. Amy, that's so funny. Thank you. So the Affordable Care Act really helped me a lot because it got rid of pre-existing conditions. But then Obama like vigilantly went after the Little Sisters of the Poor and other Christian organizations that didn't want to pay for birth control. And here's the biggest problem ever. So copper IUDs are a type of birth control. and they cause abortions. Yes, it's not like some conspiracy theory. Like in my video, in the description, my article about it is from a liberal magazine called The Atlantic that admits this. So basically, the way copper IUDs work, they do prevent conception, but they also prevent implantation sometimes. And so it means like the embryo is formed, it has all of the DNA that it will have. If it's going to have bipolar, it already has the bipolar genes. If it's going to be like another illness, it already has those genes. So it's like a person, it has a soul at this point. And then the embryo zygote cannot attach to the uterine lining and just go down, because the uterine lining is shedding its blood and it can't like stick on and become part of it. So copper IUDs are birth control, contraception, but they're also abortion. They cause abortions. So that's like a huge reason why I think it's like pretty oppressive to force Catholic organizations to pay for something that literally causes abortions. Like, I can't think of anything we're more against than killing fetuses and embryos and zygotes. Like, it's literally the most vulnerable thing in society is a baby, an unborn baby. And so why do we have to pay for abortions? It's like we're already paying for abortions through taxpayer dollars for the government, but now like companies have to directly pay for abortion because of Obamacare. It's just like so ridiculous. So I'm really glad that they finally won. So Obama did that. Wouldn't that go against the American Constitution? Yeah, the Supreme Court ruled in their favor so that they don't have to. And I think also Hobby Lobby won as well. So they were like Protestant organizations who were also upset about it. So people don't know that. That's so sad. Yeah, I think a lot of people with copper IUDs, they've had abortions and they like don't even realize that it causes that, which is so sad. And I feel like if I was on that for like a couple of years and then I realized, I would be devastated because you don't even know if you had a child that was aborted. That's so sad. Hi, Kevin Hicks. How are you doing? It's going to be cool meeting all the millions of people who died before birth in heaven. That is true. And I think people who had abortions and have so much regret about it, it's going to be beautiful that they can meet their children. One of my friends sent me this video of a nun talking about abortion. And basically she said that you should have so much hope and joy and not be like guilty all the time, because your baby you aborted is alive in heaven right now and interceding for you. So you can literally pray for your child to pray for you because they're in heaven right now. So there's no reason to like constantly guilt trip, because like the person you killed doesn't hate you anymore. So I thought that was really beautiful. And I feel like people in my life who I know have had abortions, it makes me like immediately have zero resentment towards them, because the baby isn't even mad. So if the person murdered isn't mad about it, you can't be mad about it. So I hope that helps you guys a lot. I used to admire Obama, but because of you, I hate him. Okay, this is the thing about like Obama, Trump, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. Like, presidents do really, really good things and really, really horrible things. It's a mix of both. So you shouldn't like hate all of Trump's policies, hate all of George W. Bush's policies, hate all of Obama's policies just because there's some that you hate. Like, especially when working with Congress, like there's so much bipartisan legislation that gets passed that no one talks about because they're only focused on like the horrible things. So we don't even talk about the things that everyone agrees on, and that President Trump, President Obama signs into law, bipartisan legislation helping people. So I feel like people don't think about that a lot, but yeah. Politicians have no spines. So I think we need to look at it at an individual level. So many politicians are good people and have good intentions. And you really don't know whether or not someone has good intentions. So I think you should expect the best of people. Do you think I should clap when I'm making a point like Lizzie does on Twitter, like with the emoji? What is this about? So I'm also live streaming on my YouTube right now. So there's a lot of comments. So we're asking questions. We've been talking about how I'm going to bleach my hair back to blonde. We've been talking about how the Obamacare forced Catholic organizations to pay for abortions and contraception. So we've been talking about a lot of different things. Thoughts on Ventura removing St. Junipero Serra's statue from the public? Yeah, it's horrible. So like not only are like vigilante, like individual people going out and like tearing down statues and like doing graffiti on our saint statues, but cities are literally voting to take them down. And I'm talking about that on my video on Tuesday about Catholics being persecuted and everything we're going through the past months. I talk about the statue and how literally he helped the Native Americans so much and like fought with the Spanish government to make sure that the Spanish military was not oppressing them. Like he was an advocate for the Native Americans. So it's so ridiculous that people are viewing him as like a racist bigot who caused genocide. Like that's not at all what happened at all. So it's crazy. I pray to Saint Joan of Arc. Does God hate or love sinners? He loves everyone, but he hates their sin. Some scriptures say he loves us all, and others say he hates workers of iniquity. So he hates the individual sin, but I mean, like, he loves everyone. Like, the light of God is in every single person's soul, shining so brightly, and some people close their eyes or close their ears to it, but God is still, like, every moment pouring so much love into us. Lizzie, maybe you can make a video about growing Christianity in the world. Ooh, that's a really good video idea. Why is Christianity in the decline? Because, here we go. This is such a good video idea. Because Christianity, especially Catholicism, is growing like huge amounts. It's growing so much. So the issue is that it's declining in the West and the northern hemisphere of the world, but in the southern hemisphere, in Africa, in China, in South America, Catholicism is growing so much, and Protestantism as well. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. Christians are persecuted in the Middle East, parts of Asia and Africa. I wonder why people in the West are silent about it. So I'm not silent about it. Like, when I hear about churches being bombed, like, I cry and cry. So I think our media doesn't report about it as much, but when we do know what's going on, like, I'm horrified, I'm crying, I'm angry. So I don't know about other Americans, but I feel like when we do hear about it, it is like emergency. And at the beginning of my Tuesday video, I talk about how Americans overreact so much to things going on here because compared to other countries, we have it really easy with what's going on. What do you think about the people constantly saying the second coming is in the coming week? Because it's so ridiculous. People are always like that. They're like, this Revelation thing, this is the Antichrist. Revelation predicted what's happening right now. We're about to die. Like, the end of the world is coming. It's so crazy. Lizzie, video idea, your experience in RCIA and joining the church. That's a really good idea. I'm going to screenshot. I guess I can say I'm a charismatic Catholic. My mom and dad are Baptist. My extended family are charismatic Protestants. There are days where I feel like a good Christian, and other days I feel like the worst person in the world. Do you have bipolar disorder or like anxiety? I think Catholics should open up to missionary evangelization again. So we do have missionary evangelization around the world, but I think people from China, Africa should come to the US and evangelize. I think, and Europe. People from the southern hemisphere of the world need to come and evangelize to Europe and America. In the US, not all the Americas. Do you think the virus will end and things will open up again soon? So things will not start opening up again throughout the US and the world until we have a vaccine. So they started like the first trials for a vaccine in the US, and then obviously other countries are doing it as well. So I think that in 2021, like I think like halfway through 2021, we're going to be opening up the country again. And then in 2022, I think it will be over. But I think like maybe like a year from now, we'll be able to stop being in lockdown. But literally it's going to take a long time because we have to have the vaccine. And my best friend was saying that the vaccine they did develop doesn't actually last that long. So it's not like a permanent vaccine. So we would have to like constantly get the vaccine. But they are working really hard on it and everything. So the Catholic Church is 2,000 years old. You definitely don't have a shortage of video ideas. I know, but I'm running out of video ideas for sure. I don't feel too comfortable getting a vaccine when I don't know what's in it. That's going to be the problem, you guys. I have my LaCroix here. That's going to be the problem where people are going to refuse to get the vaccine. It's so ridiculous. Like, trust the FDA, please. I've never been diagnosed with bipolar, but doctors told me at the hospital I might have generalized anxiety disorder. Yeah, that makes sense. So like with anxiety, you can feel like really horrible about yourself, or like you're guilty for something, or God doesn't love you, or you're a horrible sinner. Like, that makes sense. That happens with anxiety. There's even a term for it. It's called scrupulosity, when you're constantly thinking that you're sinning and like being horrible, but you're really not. So there's literally a term for that. I am sad that churches are closed. My school has ended and I just want to go and learn more. Join my Bible study if you want to. No way, I trust a FDA vaccine. Make a video explaining original sin. Okay, that's a really good idea. I'm so bad at explaining original sin. So it'd be so good to like force me to research it more because I do know how to explain it, but not like that well. How do you feel about people making fun of other being virgins? I saw this post made by a non-believer boasting about taking a Catholic girl's virginity and she was freaking out and he was laughing. That sounds like sexual assault. That's really, really, really sad. So I think if people are like bashing your beliefs and like bashing you for being a virgin, they're not real friends. Like never once have my friends who are having premarital sex or had like judged me for it or shamed me like ever because it's my beliefs. So if people are doing that to you, that sucks. And I don't feel like they're real friends. What is the Shroud of Turin? People talk about it all the time. The media doesn't care about Christian issues. Yeah, so like when I was researching for my video on Christians being persecuted in the US and like our statues and churches being burned and desecrated and everything, like the media barely talks about it. And it's really crazy because you'd think when there's like 2 fires of Catholic churches in one day, that would be like a huge news story, like Catholic churches are being burned. But it wasn't a news story at all. So I find it really bizarre. I've watched videos on scrupulosity, but they don't really help. So you feel like you don't go through that? I feel like people with OCD and like schizoaffective disorder and schizophrenia have a lot of scrupulosity. I would love to see a video on how to pray the rosary for someone to convert into Catholicism. I already have that video. I'm going to link it in the chat. YouTube, I literally made a video how to pray the rosary for Protestants because I want Protestants to pray the rosary, right? So how to pray rosary, but I explained how to do every decade and what the mysteries are and what each bead represents and everything because let's be real, it's really, really confusing. It's called How to Pray the Rosary for Protestants. I wonder how many Protestants are actually
part of Jesus' life. Hey guys, it's Lizzie.
Okay, I'm putting it in the live chat. So that's my video on how to pray the rosary for beginners. Maybe I should advertise for it more on my social media, but I put it up a couple months ago. Okay. All roads lead to Rome, correct? Are you serious, Lizzie? It's the most famous relic of all, the shroud in which Jesus' body was wrapped in the tomb. So I don't think it's legit. That's why I probably haven't heard it, but I don't think it's real. There's no way we have this thing from 2,000 years ago. Like, a lot of relics are legit. I made a video on relics, and, like, it didn't come up in my research because it's probably not a real relic. No offense, guys, but I'm sure that, like, hurts people's feelings and everything. Make a video on the history of angels with the Aquinas method. Interesting? Okay, let me write this out. History of angels. I can't spell. With Aquinas method? Let's see. Videos, please. Yo! Hi, capitalist cutie. How are you doing? Okay. Have you been to Rome before? No. I want to do Rome for honeymoon with Trevor. That's my goal. What about goal? That's what I want to do for it. Video idea. Why inter-Christian persecution is the saddest persecution of all. Christians persecuting each other, Protestants versus Catholic, vice versa. That's really, yeah, really sad. You should mention the hierarchy of angels. Good men like virgins and preferably without dead or tattoos. Interesting. Hi, Lizzie. Have you thought of making a video about why God doesn't actively will the existence of denominations in Christianity? It's a huge topic in my conversations with Protestants. I'm a convert. So I feel like I talk about that in a lot of videos, though, how there's like 30,000 different denominations of Christianity and how it's not legitimate and not what God wants, especially in like, I think it's John 17, Jesus prays for all believers and the unity of the church and everything. And obviously, like, he doesn't want that at all. I would recommend doing more research on the Shroud of Turin. It's really interesting. I don't think that will change my mind at all. Like, there's also the relic of the true cross. And, like, sorry, guys, that's not legit at all. Wait, so Trevor popped the question? No, we're not engaged right now. Can you make a video on how Christians should treat... Ooh, I lost that comment. please make a video when you go to Rome with Trevor. That would be awesome. Yeah, no, I will totally vlog and do a wedding video and engagement video and everything. So I want to like share my life on YouTube. So for sure. There are multiple ways of praying the rosary. Yeah, so I explained in my video like all the different ways to meditate or pray. So like someone literally asked this last live stream. They were like, what do I do when my mind wanders when I'm praying the rosary? And I'm like, your mind is supposed to wander when you pray the rosary. Like when I'm saying the Hail Marys, I'm barely ever thinking about them, like sometimes, but usually I'm thinking about the mysteries or even like impromptu praying in my head about other things I'm going through related to the petitions of the rosary. So yeah. Lizzie, you seriously need to look into the Shroud of Turin. You will be amazed. Oh my goodness, you guys are so funny. What are you drinking? I'm drinking LaCroix. I never drink soda, so only water for sure. And almond milk and oat milk. And I used to drink soy milk back in the day, but not anymore. Are you leaning Republican this time? Definitely more conservative on a state level. I mean, it doesn't really matter because in California, it's like all liberal, but especially state, like with abortion legislation, it's the most important for the state. So definitely. Do you have a video on why to celebrate Christmas? No, I don't. Okay, maybe next year for Christmas. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Why celebrate Christmas? And oh my goodness, guys, on the why celebrate Christmas. On the at the beginning of the video, I'm going to say that my previous church, Church of Christ, my Protestant church, was against celebrating Christmas. Some people in it. I literally have a video, stuff Church of Christ people say, and in the video, one of the lines is like, we don't celebrate Christmas. Or no, the line was, celebrating Christmas isn't in the Bible. Also, the Trinity isn't. Why not soy milk? I just don't feel like it tastes as good as almond milk does, but I should probably go back and try it. I think I was drinking soy milk before all the other milks came in, like almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk. Originally, it was like mostly soy milk. Do you know who Patrick Madrid is from Relevant Radio? Yeah, he's interviewed me before. A while back, he spoke about you and was thrilled with you. Aw, that's so sweet. I think soy milk is the best milk, like nutritionally. Could you talk about Hallows Eve, like Halloween, the history of it? That's interesting. Maybe when we get to, it's so crazy. We're halfway through 2020. I was just thinking like Halloween and Christmas are so far away, but like they're really not far away at all. That's crazy. No, milk is bad for you. Yeah, absolutely. Dairy milk. Okay, this is why you should never drink dairy milk or eat cheese or ice cream that's not vegan ice cream. Because cow's milk, is meant for a baby calf to become a 300-pound cow. Think about it. So it's meant to make the animal huge. So if you want to be at a healthy weight, don't drink milk or eat dairy products. Like if you're struggling with your weight and want to lose weight and want to become healthier, then stop drinking dairy. Like I feel like that's the number one way to lose weight. And obviously, like when it comes to like decreasing your cancer risk and decreasing heart disease, decreasing chance of stroke, definitely like cut out meat. That's really important. But when it comes to just losing weight, like think about it, like a baby calf, 300-pound cow. So yeah, it just makes sense. I only like almond milk. Make a video about Vatican II. Ooh, okay. That's a good idea. Thank you guys so much for giving me video ideas. Vatican II. I could be like, why I don't hate Vatican II. Oh, that will be why I don't hate Vatican II. Because everyone hates it so much. All the trads on Twitter hate it so much. Soy milk has the most protein of the non-dairy milks, and it also tastes the best, especially in coffee. Okay, the next time I go to the store, I'm going to get soy milk and try it out again. Wait, aren't cows vegan and they become 300 pounds? They're supposed to be 300 pounds. Humans are not supposed to be 300 pounds. I'm Orthodox and we're vegan like 60% of the year. I know, I love it so much. I wish Catholics were as intense as the Orthodox Church. Like, people get offended when I say this, but like, Orthodox is Catholicism on hard mode. And I know I said this before with Protestantism. I was like, Catholicism is Protestantism on hard mode. And people got so freaking offended by it. I don't even know how. But I think Orthodox is more intense than Catholicism in so many ways. Like, the way they venerate and like sing songs to Mary and the saints during Vespers is like so much more intense than Catholicism. And also, I'm going to get to your super chat real quick. Also, Orthodox venerate, well, there's multiple types of veneration. Like, when it comes to singing songs to saints, they do that more. They also like kiss icons and kiss the feet of, they don't really have statues, but like Eastern Catholics will sometimes. So I do that when I'm like traveling, obviously not during coronavirus, that's bad. But like when I travel to different churches and stuff, I always like kiss the feet of statues. And I love like how in Orthodox and Byzantine Catholic at the end of Mass, everyone like goes up and venerates a cross. Like, every time I was at Vespers when I was like trying to be Orthodox like a couple years ago and like going to Divine Liturgy multiple times a week and stuff, we would always venerate something at the end, like an icon or a cross or like something. We would like go up and venerate it. And in Catholicism, like, you don't see that much. So Lao Fu, thank you for the donation. Western civilization is under attack. Who pioneered Western civilization? The church. Yeah, that's so true. What do you do when you hear someone say, so I personally like don't even like saying the phrase because I think it's really offensive to God and breaking the commandment of not using God's name in vain. So I was literally thinking about this today because I was listening to a Taylor Swift song that has that in it, the phrase, oh, da, da. And I was like, I shouldn't be listening to this. So I was actually going to ask a priest the next time I go to confession if like listening to music with that is really bad. Because literally everyone says it, even Catholics, they will say like, not like, but the letters, and it like really, 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 really bothers me a lot. Because I think some people, it's like how they grew up and they're just used to saying it and it's like hard to stop. But to me, it's like, it's so bad. Okay. I am guilty of using that. Yeah. Maybe I should make a whole video using God's name in vain. That's a really good video idea. And I can like help everyone out. So what I do now, I know this probably is like so annoying that I do this, but every time someone says that phrase, I say, praise his glorious name. That's what I do. I don't know who I got that from, but that was not my idea. So anytime someone says like the letters individually or the whole thing, I say, praise his glorious name. Just to like let people know that we're literally talking about God here and we shouldn't just like throw around his name. It's really sad that it's thrown around so casually in society. I think that's horrible. After what sin should you not receive communion? I know mortal sins, but what qualifies as a mortal sin? That's a good video idea. What is a mortal sin? So, when Jesus was on earth, he was talking about mortal sins, like the 10 Commandments, and he was saying things like committing adultery, getting angry, like committing adultery and murder. He took it like a step further. So instead of just like, it's a mortal sin to commit adultery, it's a mortal sin to think about committing adultery. It's a mortal sin to lust after a woman that's not your wife. So when it comes to murder, he said, it's not just a mortal sin to murder, it's a mortal sin if you get angry at someone. So Jesus takes it so far, the definition of sin, beyond just actions, but even thoughts. So that's why I recommend going to confession like a lot, like every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe minimum once a month. And obviously like we can't with quarantine. Some states have confession open. It depends on where you live. So I recommend just going to confession as much as possible. My priest says, instead of being like, is this a mortal sin? Is this not a mortal sin? Just go to confession anyways. So obviously we don't want to get in a state of scrupulosity where we're like constantly guilty about everything. But I think a really good resource is the Laudate app, Laudate. I'll put it in the chat right now. Laudate. It's an iPhone app, and they have a confession feature, and you can go through it, and it asks questions, and that's a good guide of like what a mortal sin is. But I also think you can really base it on the 10 Commandments. So, Flavian Grace just sent like 15 angry face emojis at me. What's going on? We spend our time watching you, and you don't even answer our questions. You just doing this on purpose, like emoji face. What if you sinned on Monday and couldn't confess it until Sunday? So as long as you have the intention of going to confession, it's really important. But I mean, if you live in a bigger town, there's probably confession opportunities all over the city. So you can go on masstimes.org. I'll add that to the chat. masstimes.org, and it shows all the Catholic churches around you, and it also shows confession times. Flavian, if you want me to answer your question, copy and paste and keep putting the question in the chat. Have you tried oat milk? Yes, I love oat milk so much. I use it for my coffee almost every day. I get the Trader Joe's one. I only like the Trader Joe's oat milk. Why did you not become Orthodox? Because of the Pope. Because we need the sign of orthodoxy, like right thinking, right theology throughout Christianity has always been being in communion with the Pope and being in communion with all the other bishops. So it's so important to be in communion with the Roman bishop, and the Orthodox Church is not. You make me giggle when you respond to anger comments. Flavian has a friendly reminder. Lizzie is not a machine. Well, I don't even see Flavian's new comments. Do you drink fruit juice? I did when I was younger, like living at home and stuff. But no, I don't anymore. Trevor likes fruit juice. Trevor really likes orange peach mango from Trader Joe's. Have you guys heard of that? Because Trevor drinks soda sometimes, and it like really bothers me. And like when my old roommates would drink soda, I like got rid of soda in the apartment. I was like, we are not a soda family to my old roommates. Like we don't drink soda, and they actually stopped drinking soda in the apartment and buying it and stuff. Because soda is so unhealthy. So Trevor, he has like more of a sweet tooth for like drinks. So I was like, why don't you drink juice instead of soda? It's way healthier for you. Paul, where did you get those beautiful earrings? The angry face emoji is like even more intense on the YouTube chat than on iPhone. That's so funny. So I got these from Anna Luisa Jewelry. I'll put it in the chat. Anna Luisa Jewelry. They sponsored one of my videos, so they sent me free earrings and a necklace and my other earrings that are like gold and then have the little pearls on the bottom. So they sent me jewelry, and they accidentally sent me, sorry you guys, they accidentally sent me it twice. So then I gave one of the necklaces to my best friend and the earrings to my mom for Mother's Day. So yeah. Have you ever tried to contact demons through rituals? Absolutely not. What's the deal with that? Regarding any food, drink, soda, moderation is key. You should just never be consuming high fructose corn syrup ever. And high fructose corn syrup is in a lot of foods and drinks. Like one thing I realized recently is lemonade. Some lemonade has high fructose corn syrup in it, so you have to be really careful. If you want a question answered 100%, you need to do a super chat. This is YouTube. True. Maybe do a video about different Catholic rites and the difference in other countries. Ooh. Lizzie, why is it that for the health problems in the Western diet, you only talk about meat and eat dairy, yet you don't say anything about highly processed and vegetable oil and a lot of food? Okay, the reason I don't talk about it, and I should, like I'm guilty of not talking about like processed foods, it's because I never ever have eaten processed foods, like in my entire life. My family ate so healthy, so like in my mind, that's not even an option of what to eat. And like with my roommates as well, my old roommates and my roommates in college always ate really healthy. So it's just like not a thing in my mind to eat processed food. But here, I'll write a note to myself that I should talk about processed food more. Like that's why the carnivore diet works for some people, because they stop eating processed carbs. If you just eat whole grain carbs, then you won't be dealing with the problem at all. My question is, why do they baptize kids when they are so young? They can't even learn nothing when they are so young. I got baptized when I was so young. I don't even remember anything. Why do Catholics? I made a whole video on this. Lizzie's Answers, infant baptism, and I explained the entire issue in like a 20-minute video. How long is it? 14 minutes. That's so freaking short. You guys can
My name is Scott Harrison.
Charity Water is advertising on my video. So sweet. Definitely click on the ad. Vegano for Pope. Interesting. What about a video on the Protestant and Catholic biblical canon and the Apocrypha? I just made a video. That was like my last video. Here, I'll link it for you. Lizzie's Answers. If you go to my YouTube homepage and click videos, then you'll definitely find it. So it is it not coming up? It's not coming up. Bible. Oh, you can't YouTube search it. I have to go to my YouTube homepage. Here. Why Protestants?
Hey guys, it's Lizzie. Today I'm going to respond to one of the biggest, most
controversial parts of the Protestant Reformation. Okay, so I just put in the chat. If you go to my YouTube homepage, the video is called Why Protestants Remove 7 Books from the Bible. So, yeah, go watch that for sure. Canon video was so good. I'm so happy you liked it. It was so hard researching. I had to like include Trevor to help me understand some stuff I was reading. So grateful for Trevor. He knows so much. You should make a video about New Age manifesting yoga. Okay, I'm so against people who are against yoga. Like literally when people do yoga, it's not like Buddhist yoga, it's American yoga. Sorry, I can't understand some of these comments at all. Hi, Lizzie. Many blessings. Keep doing your thing. You are in my prayers. Thank you so much for praying for me. Maybe do a video on the 5 solas of Protestantism. Okay, that's such a good idea. Solas of Protestantism. So I have made videos on Sola Scriptura and Sola Fide, Saved by Faith Alone. But yeah, that's such a good idea. Why the 5 solas are wrong, and I'll put wrong in all caps. Solas of Protestantism are wrong. Okay. What do you think about traditional femininity being under attack? So what I don't like is people shaming women who want to be stay-at-home moms, because I feel like if you're a true feminist, you should be like letting women do whatever we want to do and stop judging. So it's literally how liberals are more judgmental than conservatives for sure. Like they're less tolerant of different viewpoints that are conservative. Like they're tolerant of liberal viewpoints, but not conservative viewpoints. So I feel like, yeah, number one, you shouldn't judge women who want to be stay-at-home moms and have a lot of children. Number two, you shouldn't judge women who want to work and have children. You shouldn't make women choose between them. I think it's totally possible to work and have kids. My parents both worked and both stayed at home throughout when we were growing up. Like my dad was a stay-at-home dad, then my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So, and they both had careers as well. So especially when kids get to being in like middle school and high school, unless you have like 13 kids, it's like really easy to go back to work. So yeah. But I don't even know what you mean by like traditional femininity. Like I'm not a traditional female at all. What is your opinion on those who oppose Vatican II? So ridiculous. Has your opinion on Dr. Taylor Marshall changed with his recent statement? I literally, in my 2 live streams ago, I called him a schismatic, and he literally retweeted a video where I'm like, he comes across as sort of schismatic, and he retweeted my video. So I was like, wow, like, he's really open-minded to be calling a schismatic. I, like, really had more respect for him after that happened. How does exercising help with mental health? It helps amazing. It really gets rid of like depression slightly, and it controls mania as well. Today I did an at-home workout. I didn't go running, but since it's gotten warmer, I've been going running almost every single day, and it's really important for managing bipolar depression, anxiety, probably schizophrenia as well. I don't know as much about schizophrenia, but some of my subscribers have schizophrenia. LOL, Team Marshall's the best, isn't he? I always say I see myself having 5 kids, and people think I'm crazy and shame me for it. That's ridiculous. That's like not even that many kids compared to like a lot of Catholic families who have so many kids. Are you still doing Bible studies? I had the link, but I kind of lost the link. Yes, I'm still doing Bible studies. I will send out emails. Can you make a video on the life of Saint Joseph? Yes, Saint Joseph. We honestly don't know that much about his life, except for he probably had children and a marriage before Mary, and then they had a celibate marriage. Have you heard of the new trend of randonauting? No. I would like to join the Bible study. When is it? So 3 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, and 4 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. Email me. I miss the old dozen or more Catholic families. Have you heard of Taylor Marshall and Tim Gordon? They each have so many kids. Like, Taylor Marshall has 8 kids, and then Tim Gordon has 6, and they're like having more. Who was your confirmation name, and why did you choose it? Irenaeus was my confirmation name, so he really helped me become Catholic because his teachings were so close to Jesus in the 2nd century. Like, he was infant baptized. He is considered the father of Mariology because he talked a ton about Mary, and he was taught by Polycarp, who was taught by John the Baptist. So Irenaeus is so close to Jesus. He also is one of the first people to say definitively which gospels are legit, because there were like fake Gnostic gospels floating around. And so Irenaeus is like, these are the legit real gospels. You can't stand the Gordon brothers? That's so sad. I love them. We collab together, and they really helped to change my perspective on the world. Today is the feast day of Saint Charbel. I love my Maronite Catholic culture. Aww. Can you do a video on Freemasonry and the Catholic Church? I don't want to. How do you live with the uncertainty of not having assurance of heaven? Leaving once saved, always saved was difficult for me. So I'm a very like scheduled, like obeying rules, like good at authority type person when it comes to Catholicism. So it's very easy for me to like go to mass every week, go to confession as much as possible, like live out your baptismal vows. Like, it doesn't freak me out at all. If you're like a practicing Catholic, like, you shouldn't have fear. I think some Catholics take it too far and are kind of extremists and are like, if you don't question your salvation all the time, you're not taking your faith seriously. And I think that's totally wrong. Like, I think we should have confidence of salvation. If we're baptized, if we're participating in the sacraments, if we're receiving the Eucharist, if we're in Mass every week, if we're not committing mortal sins, if we go to confession, if we do commit mortal sins. So, yeah. Video idea, a push for Catholic ladies to marry good Catholic men. That's funny. How can one join your Bible study? Email me, lizziesanswers@gmail.com, or DM me on Twitter or Instagram. You said the Gordon brothers? The Gordon brothers say that women are subordinate and lower than men, and frankly, they're perfect examples of toxic masculinity from what I can tell. That's so freaking mean. I don't think that at all. So women submitting to husbands, I agree with you guys. As liberal and feminist as I am, it's objectively in the Bible. And it doesn't mean women are lower than men. I think you're misconstruing what they're saying. after a debate with them, and it made me despise them more. That's so freaking sad. They said so much false info. Why don't you want to make a video on Freemasons? Yeah, it's just like not something I'm interested in at all. Submit to Trevor. I don't have to yet. Yikes, no demons over here, please. If a husband is atheist, a Christian woman should not submit. Well, she should, unless he's like making her go against Christianity. For context, I'm far left. Okay, that makes sense. I'm a liberal socialist. Okay, that makes sense why you think they're extremists. They would think that you're an extremist. That's so funny. Her video with them on the Gordon brothers, I was with Gordon on that video. Have you thought of making a video explaining why the Mass is considered to be a sacrifice, also not a re-sacrifice? Thank you guys for these video ideas. Why Mass is sacrifice. Yeah, I haven't made that many videos explaining Mass. That's such a good idea. I really like your dedication to our faith teachings and pray constantly for you. Oh, thank you so much. Jesus was an extremist. That's true. People at the time thought he was an extremist for sure. I heard of a married Melkite Catholic priest who taught seminary and had 13 kids. That's so funny. You should make a video on the Holy Trinity. I don't understand it. Trevor even told me to not read Augustine's on the Trinity because I wouldn't understand it. So I feel like I'm not a good person to make a video on the Trinity. A video on scrupulosity. Ooh. Scrupulosity. I don't think Jesus would be proud of conservatives. I think he would agree with some things that conservatives do, like being against abortion and being more for religious liberty. Like my video on Tuesday, there have been some kind of attacks on Catholic liberty when it comes to forcing them to provide contraception and shutting down our adoption centers. So I think there are like a few conservative issues that Jesus would be on board with. But then there's a lot of liberal issues that Jesus would also be on board with. I would argue more liberal issues that Jesus would be on board with. But then he might consider abortion to be like the most important issue. So who knows? You should make a video on the Maronite Catholic or Eastern Catholic rites. That's a good idea. Eastern Catholic rites. So guys, on Instagram, my video is going to end in like a minute. So if you want to continue being part of the chat, hop over to my YouTube channel, which is just Lizzie's Answers. I think Jesus is a libertarian socialist like me. My friend is doing Divine Mercy on Facebook, so I'm going to go to that. Have a good day, Liz. Bye. Have so much fun. Catholicism is neither liberal or conservative. Absolutely. Have you done the Marian consecration? I don't know how to. Yeah, it's confusing to me for sure. "23 Eastern Catholic churches, 5 Eastern rites." I'm writing that down. Cool. Do you have all the answers to life? Okay, so I'm going to end my Instagram. Head over to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being part of the chat. I love you guys a lot. Bye. Okay. Will you ever get a radio show, Liz? Thank you for the donation. I don't really want a radio show. I think other people do a really good job, but I really love YouTube, and like video editing is my thing that I'm so passionate about. So I honestly feel like audio editing, I'm just not that into. I would miss video editing so much if I did a radio show instead of YouTube. I feel like I want to. Tired living in this world. I'm not happy. I tried to blank myself with a knife. I was crying because I feel like my reading is not good. Please don't kill yourself. I have several videos on my YouTube channel talking about thinking. I can't say the word. So type in YouTube Lizzie's Answers, Suicidal Thinking. I have to say it now. And I will link to you a video, The Reason to Not Kill Yourself.
Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So today I want to talk.
Here we go. I'm going to link 2 videos. You can quit the live chat and go watch the videos. So I will get to your super chat real quick. And then I talked about suicidal thinking and bipolar disorder and my experience with it. Wow, it has 20K views. Yeah, so the 2 videos I linked, please watch them and save your life. I do not want you to kill yourself. You have so much power and passion in the world, and there are so many people who you will meet in the future who need you to help them grow and flourish and to save their lives as well. So it's so important to not just focus on the present and everything going wrong in your life, but focus on your future and how you can be there for other people. One of my professors in college, he described it as walking up a mountain, hiking up like a really hard mountain with other people. And you need to be there for other people and help them climb up the mountain. It's not just about you individually. So that metaphor of a mountain and climbing up with other people is the reason I chose to not kill myself. And I think it's really powerful. And I share that in those videos. So I know what you're going through. I felt it. I literally had voices in my head telling me to kill myself, like hallucination, psychotic, whatever it was going on. So I know how you feel. And yeah, I love you so much. Please don't kill yourself. Jeremiah Bach, thank you for the donation. I love your open-mindedness to other perspectives. But what do you think of Tim Gordon calling men cucks and betas on various shows such as Matt Fradd while claiming to be a pro-man advocate? I don't feel empowered by him. I don't like that. I would need to know the context of that, but yeah, that sounds pretty bad. I would definitely not say that. I think that's pretty bad. Hi, everyone from Instagram. What did I miss in the live stream? We've been going on for an hour, so I don't even know how to begin to say everything we've done. Lizzie needs a podcast. I actually have kept some of the longer videos in case I ever want to transfer them to audio format, so I might do that sometime. I was very suicidal as a teenager. Had I took my own life, I would never know the other beautiful experiences in store for me growing up as an adult. Life is beautiful. Yes, several of my friends were really suicidal, like 3 of my best friends in the world, and it's just really it's really scary thinking of what they would have missed out on if they'd actually gone through and taken their life. What do you think of the statues of saints that are being destroyed? And the bishop in that area said that lay missionaries should do something about it because they have nothing better to do. So I don't want to get blocked by Bishop Barron, but I thought his response was a little out of touch, where he said that it's like the laity's job. But in the same article, he said that they were petitioning the government and like signing petitions and stuff like the bishops had. So I really like that they were doing something, but instead of just saying like, look at the 3 things that we did, like look at how we're petitioning politicians and community leaders, like you can help out too. Instead, he was like, it's the laity's job. So he was like misrepresenting his own position. So yeah, but my video on Tuesday is literally going to talk about all the statues being taken down. That's like the theme of the video. I'm going to film it tonight. Did you ever read about Saint Teresa of Lisieux? Yes, I read her Story of a Soul. It's so good. One of my friends recommended it to me, so I highly recommend it. Can Catholics be libertarians? Why don't you ask your priest in confession? I talk about politics in confession sometimes, asking for advice. I like that Mexican and European soda is made from sugar and not corn syrup. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Have you heard of a show called Remnant Radio? They're open-minded Protestants who invite people of other denominations to discuss theology. Would you ever be interested in debating them? Ooh, it depends on what topic. Do you believe believers can have demons? Yes, I think there are modern day demons, absolutely. And there are like exorcists in Catholicism, so yes. Solus Griffiths, hey, what's up? Hi, Lizzie. I recently made an awesome Catholic friend, and it turns out he's the husband of Laura Beeson. Oh, yeah, the lady you had to discuss on NFP, Small World. That's so cool. I love her a lot. My friend who recently became Catholic thinks Catholics have to be monarchists. Technically, we kind of do. Like, that should be, like, our ideal government, but that's, like, not realistic for the United States, you know? What is the hardest belief in Catholicism you face? Probably the teaching against gay marriage, because I feel like as a millennial, everyone's pushing so hard for gay rights and views you as like a bigot if you do submit to church teaching. So I think that's really hard. Also, the birth control teaching, all my friends think I'm like sexist and misogynistic for being against contraception, and like they think, oh, I want to have like 100 children by not being on birth control, like that's what's going to happen. So the video I did with Laura Beeson, where we talked about natural family planning, is so helpful and I think really, really important. So I'll actually link in the chat Lizzie's answers, NFP. Yeah, it's the first video that comes up.
Is chocolate healthy or not? Well,
it depends on how much chocolate. I can't believe all my videos that are monetized. I'm honestly shocked. Europe has so many cleaner ingredients than America and doesn't use weird chemicals. Absolutely. What do you think about the legality of contraception? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to think as a Catholic. I haven't read any papal documents about it, but for sure, we should not be forcing Catholic businesses and Catholic nuns to be paying for contraception. At the beginning of the live stream, I was talking about how one form of birth control, the copper IUD, actually causes abortions, like prevents the embryo from attaching to the uterine lining. So definitely, like, we shouldn't be paying for that as a country. We shouldn't be paying for abortions as a country. We shouldn't be paying for contraception and abortions as Catholic organizations. So those are my thoughts on it. The papacy is practically a monarchy. Yeah, so Catholicism is a monarchy for sure. You guys are so sweet talking to the guy wanting to kill himself. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you a lot. One of the things holding me back from being Catholic is the doctrine against contraception, because if I have an unplanned pregnancy, I would have to cut my meds cold turkey, and that's dangerous. Yes, so definitely watch my video that I just linked on natural family planning. It talks about it really in depth. Like, please watch the video, because I had the exact same issues as having bipolar disorder, because I could go really manic or really depressed if I'm off meds. So you can use natural family planning. It's basically you look at cervical mucus, your body temperature, and you check the levels every day and you track it, and you know exactly when you can get pregnant, like the 5 or 10 days when you can get pregnant. And like 100%, no, not 100%. It's 97%, 99.6% effective. The symptothermal method, only the symptothermal method is 99.6% effective. And so birth control is less effective than that. So if you use natural family planning, I think that's really good. And like, you can use natural family planning if you're not in a healthy emotional place, if you have mental illness, if you don't have enough money at the time, if you're recovering from another birth. So there are so many reasons that the church allows you to use natural family planning. And if you like need life-saving medication, like definitely use it. You're like a great candidate. And the church like 100% is pro-medicine and pro taking care of people with medical conditions. So absolutely, you'd be allowed to use that. But I'm literally in the same position. And because of the natural family planning teaching, like I did a ton of research on it, and it convinced me that, like, as a bipolar person, it's safe for me to get married. Melania Trump had an exorcism done in the White House before she would live in it. Awesome. That's so funny. I love how Lizzie's like, I don't want to get blocked by Bishop Barron, but literally, if I got blocked on Twitter by Bishop Barron, I would email Brandon and be like, can you please unblock me? Do you hate me because I'm non-vegan? Absolutely not. I love you. I think love is the only way to encourage people to go vegan. It's unfortunate that Lizzie has to mention she doesn't want to get blocked by Bishop Barron for saying he sounded out of touch. We want our bishops to be bishops. Yeah. And I was thinking about this for my video that I'm filming on Catholicism being under attack. So I was sharing at the end, like, what we can do about it. And one of the things I mentioned is that, like, in the early church, the bishops were writing letters, treatises, books, trying to convince the Roman government to stop persecuting Christians. The bishops were doing that. That was, like, the bishop's job. So it's weird today that they're like, oh, because of Vatican II, the bishops are, like, off the hook for helping people. And literally in his article, he said that the bishops were already petitioning the government. So he's just like, I don't understand how that part where he's like, we already did these 3 things as bishops. Why didn't you tweet that instead of tweeting, it's the lady's job? You literally already did things as the bishops. Like, you took leadership and stepped up and did something about it. So he should have been like, I did these 3 things. Get behind me, help out, do what we're doing. He should have done that instead of saying what he said, misrepresented his own point. So I was confused for sure. Isn't natural family planning achieving the same thing that contraception would? Maybe in a, like, ends justify the means type way, but the entire point is that every single sex act has to be open to procreation. So in natural family planning, you don't have sex during times that you're fertile. So it's really into every sexual act has to be open to life, which means no contraception or birth control. Thank you for making me feel better. Oh, it's hard when life is not going the way you want it. I'll be smiling people's face, but I know deep down in my heart I'm not happy. Yeah, the same thing happens to me in depression. Everyone thinks I'm so happy when I'm really not happy at all. It's really, really sad. Like, I think because in depression I go into autopilot, so people think, like, everything's okay when it's really, really not. What's your secret to having clear skin? Oh my goodness, I do not have clear skin. I break out all the time. So, number 1, I didn't have acne growing up at all. Maybe, like, middle school and high school, I had, like, 13 pimples total. Like, I would literally count. I thought it was funny. But when I started having bipolar symptoms, I started breaking out more. So what I do is I use a type of medicine called Trileptal, and I'll put it in the chat. Trileptal. And you put it on a pimple after you get an acne, and, like, overnight it goes away. So that's what I do. But, like, I'm wearing makeup right now, and it's covering up, like, acne scars and stuff. I'm actually about to start using apple cider vinegar to try to get rid of acne scars. So, yeah, I just wear makeup over it. So I do have acne problems for sure because of my bipolar. I got so messed up. After going on lithium, it messed up my bipolar so much. And it took me so long to recover. So I even went on, like, a antibiotic, like an oral antibiotic pill to get rid of acne after lithium, to try to get, like, my skin in check. And now it's pretty good. I've been taking liquid biotin because I'm going to bleach my hair soon. So I've been, like, growing out my hair longer for that. And the liquid biotin helps my skin a lot. So I really love liquid biotin. It grows out your hair and it helps your skin be better. How often do you watch Church Militant? I haven't for, like, 8 months or something. So it's not a YouTube channel I consistently watch. I don't even think I follow them on Twitter. Or I'm probably not even subscribed. Cutting out dairy helps so much with acne. Yeah, for me, it didn't affect me though. Like, because I had dairy growing up, and then since I went vegan, my acne's been worse because my bipolar came out. So for me, like, it didn't affect me, but I know for a lot of people it does for sure. So cutting out dairy is important to lose weight, to get rid of acne. My acne cleared when I cut out sugar from my diet. We should be praying for our bishops. Absolutely, we should be praying for our bishops. I have so many freckles. Men can't wear makeup. I look horrendous on camera. Have you ever watched anything by Takumesh Crucero? No, I haven't heard of them. Jeremiah is on July 22nd. Guess what, guys? My birthday is on July 22nd, so I am doing my live stream on my birthday. I'm doing a Zoom party with my college friends, so I invited everyone, and I'm going to do a Zoom link, and we're going to all hang out on Zoom for a couple hours, so I'm excited about that. And I picked a time that works for like California people, East Coast people, and Singapore, because one of my best friends is in Singapore. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm visiting Trevor, and we're going to go to the beach. And Trevor and I are probably going to do a live stream as well, so I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Lizzie, Google Protestantism. Oh, because I made my video Googling Catholicism. Let's see. Protestantism is predominant in what part of Europe? Protestantism is heresy. Protestantism is not Christianity. Protestantism is unbiblical. Protestantism is over. Protestantism is dying. Protestantism is not a religion. What the heck? It's exactly like how Catholicism was so negative too. That's so freaking funny. Wow. Google God. God is goat. God is love. God is in control. God is a woman lyric. The Ariana Grande song. God is dead. Interesting. I was stuck in a weird ex-Felis something dream nightmare last night and didn't wake up until 3 p.m. today. Wow. When I was contemplating thoughts, I was planning on just letting my body shut down due to not making a certain injection before bed, but the Catholic Church saved me from doing that. There is hope. Mm-hmm. Do you love the Holy Spirit? Yes. So I actually grew up not really believing in the Holy Spirit because my church never talked about the Holy Spirit. So I didn't really know what it was. We just believed you got the Holy Spirit after baptism. So it's still kind of weird for me to think of the Trinity split up. Lizzie, do we need more young Catholic YouTubers? Yes, because a lot of the Catholic YouTubers are really old. So we need more people who are in their 20s and millennials and teenagers and stuff. Bishop Barron should have done what the Archbishop of San Francisco did. What is your opinion on Marian modesty? It's too extreme. Why do some in Catholicism believe there is an official standard while others don't? It's just fundamentalism because the way Mary dressed is she had a hijab. She had a hijab covering up her hair. So the Marian modesty people don't even follow how Mary dressed. So yeah, and guys should have a Jesus modesty movement because Jesus didn't wear pants. So it's totally contradictory as well when it comes to different genders. So I think it's ridiculous. Hi, Lizzie. I'm Brazilian, and I met your channel 1 week ago and love your story. May God bless you and hope that Mary prays for you in your mission. Sorry if I made some mistakes. No, that was perfect English there. It's hilarious. Anytime people from different countries comment on my video and are sorry for my English, it's perfect English better than Americans. I find that really interesting. Hi, Lizzie. I am awaiting confirmation at my local parish, and I'm so excited about it. Please pray for me. Oh, that's so exciting. I'll screenshot your comment and remember it in my rosaries. I never thought of that Jesus modesty thing. Whoa. Yeah, Jesus modesty for men. We need to be equality here. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. Lizzie, you will be amazed at the Shroud of Turin. Okay, I'll put it in my little document of things, video ideas. The Shroud of Turin. Interesting. Jesus modesty. I think I'm gonna go soon. I did hear that screenshot. Yeah! Alexander's laughing so much. Wow. Unless there's some really juicy, good questions, I think I'm going to go. So if you guys want me to stay longer, find some. Peter was fishing naked. Where was his modesty? Actually, how do you know that? I feel like that's wrong. That's not in the Bible. Jesus Modesty, name the YouTube channel. Like, that should be someone's YouTube channel. That's funny. Lizzie, will you do a video on Marian apparitions? Yes. People like an hour ago were requesting Marian apparitions video. So I'm going to do a series because I have a Marian series on my channel. And I basically have finished talking about the Marian dogmas and like Mary Queen of Heaven. And I have like 3 videos on the rosary. So I definitely am going to make Marian apparition videos. That will be so fun to research. I'm obsessed with Our Lady of Lourdes and Our Lady of Knox. That will be so fun. I'm so excited. My husband is Japanese and he was just baptized and confirmed this last Friday. Oh, congratulations. That's so exciting. Do a modesty video. Ooh, because I did my veiling video. Modesty. That will be so much research though. History of modesty in Catholicism. So I already know who to start with. So Tertullian is really into modesty. He's like obsessed with talking about it. He has like multiple like books on modesty, and I've read a lot of it. And he's like against so many things. He's against makeup. He's against men shaving. He's against women dyeing their hair. He's even against jewelry, I think. So he's an extremist, and he ended up being a heretic, but he was a really important Christian. Like the phrase, the blood of martyrs is the seed of the church, like that comes from him. And he had a non-heretic stage for sure. But Lizzie, please pray for me. I'm so confused on the Christian sex. It's driving me crazy. Watch more videos in my Catholicism series, and that will help you so much. Here, I'll link the playlist and stop watching this video and go to the playlist and watch the videos. 102 videos in my Catholicism.
When I first saw this product, I thought it looked kind of crazy.
I'm amazed there's ads on my videos, really. Have you seen the Marian apparition in Vietnam where the cloak is literally moving caught in video? No, I've never heard of that. That'll be interesting, Marian apparitions, because I feel like the only ones we talk about are in Europe and then like Our Lady of Guadalupe. I never hear in like different countries and stuff. I'm going to go. God bless. Bye. Love you. Do a video on Romans 13. I don't know how to interpret it. Should we enforce? What is Romans 13? Let's go to it. Submit to governing authorities? Why is that difficult to understand? Also, Bible Gateway, go to Bible Gateway. They just changed and it's a disaster. It's a mess. It's so ugly. So you can click go back to classic design, but it's really a mess. People are DMing me on Instagram. Okay, guys. Do you know the story of Our Lady of Aparecida? No. Let me screenshot this. So I'm going to go. I will see you guys on my birthday on July 22nd. On Wednesday, I'm going to live stream earlier in the day. And I'm so excited to hang out with you guys. So I will definitely put on Twitter and Facebook soon the time. So hopefully a lot of you can be there to celebrate my birthday with me. I'm turning 26. And I'm going to bake myself a carrot cake. I'm so excited. So it will be really, really fun. And, ooh, I might actually get Trevor to be in the live stream for my birthday. Ooh, that would be fun. So I'm definitely going to send out questions for us to answer in the live stream. And also, I might get Trevor to film a video with me on what it's like dating a bipolar girl, because that's been requested a lot. So I'll talk to him and see if he wants to be part of the video. It'll probably be like really sad because oh, thank you for the donation, Manny. That's so sweet. Every dollar helps. So 26. Wow. Yay. Bye, Lizzie. See you soon. Bye. I love Fatima and Guadalupe. Okay, I love Guadalupe. Obviously, it's like my number one because it's like in the Americas and evangelized to everyone in the Americas. So that's like obviously number one. And number 2 is Our Lady of Lourdes. And number 3 is Our Lady of Knox, currently in my mind. So yeah, I actually have a book on Our Lady of Guadalupe, but one of my friends is borrowing it. So I need to get it back from her to make my Guadalupe video. So, yeah, anyway, so people want Trevor to make a video with me talking about bipolar disorder. So probably I think I'm gonna get questions ahead of time, but I was saying it's gonna be really sad because he gets so sad about it because like I have so much memory loss because of my bipolar. So I like forget our relationship and like forget basic things about his life, like what books he's publishing and like what classes he's in. And so he gets really, really sad about it. So it's probably gonna be a really sad video, but I think it'll be important to share like how to get along in a bipolar relationship and like how we overcome hurdles and everything. So I think it'll be a really cool video. I love Guadalupe and the apparitions. Happy early birthday, by the way. Thank you. Our Lady of Guadalupe is the Empress of the Americas. Absolutely. Okay, guys, I love you so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.